we're right now hoping that we could do something else with these guys, hopefully closer to the aspect because of here in the U.S. The other aspect right now that we're trying to look into and hopefully go embedded with is a lot of these cartel guys are now kind of hiring their own. We were the only, so far, I think, American TV journalist to lock in a one-on-one interview with her to talk about the cartel threats. And I think, we got that from the relationships of, spending times with the Mexicans. One
It's
thing,
crazy that you're the first. That's amazing.
yeah, and the thing is with what a Mexican journalist, man, is we call them. You probably might have heard the term, Julian, is we call them fixers. So, like, for instance, if you're a reporter in U.S. and you want to go cover, like, right when the Ukraine war started, most likely that American journalist got in touch with Ukrainian journalists and then hired them as a fixer. So basically, you would basically fly to Ukraine, and then because that journalist knows Ukraine, they could drive you around. They know how to look for news. They kind of help you for that. So what I do too is for my fixers that I hire in Mexico, I always overpay them. So I take care of these guys. So if they charge me like $300 for a day to be fixing with them, I'll give them like 450, 500. Take care of these guys way more cash. Every fixer that I met so far likes to drink tequila. So after a good reporting trip, we'll hit the bar, slam some Don Julios, and it's fun, man. It's just all about relationships, bro. And Mexico's like, they just operate different. They're more wild cards. They take bigger risks. I have massive, and I tell them this almost every time. I have massive amount of respect for Mexican journalists. I mean, I praise them to the ultimate high. I just because. First of all, we all know they put themselves in great risk and danger covering the cartel. But the fact that like a lot of these guys, man, like they do it for like the literal love of the game. Like a lot of these guys still have regular jobs. They'll be like a taxi driver, or they're still like a fisher, and then they have to use that income for journalism just because like they get paid that little. And while like the journalists in Mexico making like the $1 million contracts are like the mouthpiece for the government. I mean, kind of similar here in the U.S. So I have a huge amount of respect for those guys. Like I love working with those guys. Like I just love being in the trenches with these guys, and like just the adventures that we have with these Mexican fixer journalists. It's like it's amazing, man. Hopefully I could write a book about it one day with these guys.
I hope so. Yeah. Did you have a lot of knowledge about the cartels before you went to do any of this border reporting?
No. I mean, basically, I would say like maybe like with the average American or like whatever you find on Google, and then obviously now being in this world, it showed us another kind of world of this. The one that we covered that was kind of big and also cartel related was last year. If you remember when the 4 Americans got kidnapped in Matamoros, Mexico. 4 Americans.
Yes.
So this was the original. The original story was, I don't know if you want to just bring it up, bro. The Americans that got kidnapped in Matamoros, but the original story is that they went in there for some type of surgery, and they got kidnapped, and they ended up like killing 2 of them, and then two survived. So I was actually in East Palestine doing the whole train derailment coverage. I fly to Atlanta. At that time, my home base was Atlanta for News Nation. So I fly to Atlanta. As soon as I fly to Atlanta, they're like, don't even leave the airport. Book to I forgot Brownsville, Texas, because we're gonna have you go to Matamoros. So book to Brownsville, and then the thing is, when you go into Matamoros at a time like this, like after a cartel killing and kidnap, you got to go in with a really trusted fixer, because that's when the cartel is looking to keep media out and eliminate anyone. So we got a really good fixer. As soon as we crossed, she instantly was like, don't talk to anyone, don't talk about news, don't jump in any random taxi, like, and if someone's following us or anything, we got to keep moving. Any live shots that we did our reporting, we could only be there for like 10 minutes max, and we had to keep moving. So we were in that kind of like cartel hot zone during that time to report on the Americans, and then actually we found out that like there was probably more sketchier stuff involved. We're probably thinking they were there for drugs. They weren't there for any surgery or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just learning, man, and then just picking up all the info you can, and it's just been fascinating. Like learning about all types of stuff with these guys. Like now they're more into. I mean, now human smuggling is a big cash cow for cartels, just because quick money is almost like an unlimited source. These guys are doing a really good job of recruiting teenagers in Houston and San Antonio to drive down with their own cars, pick up migrants. They're becoming more sophisticated. We did work on a case, man. This one was in Nuevo Laredo. I don't know if you want to type really quick, man. It would put like Laredo. American kidnap. We did this was an area one that we did with the cartel. In that basically, if you guys don't know, there's Laredo, Texas, and then the border town is Nuevo Laredo. Nuevo Laredo is maybe the sketchiest, or right there, sketchiest border town, all of Mexico. We always say border towns are controlled by cartel, but Nuevo Laredo is controlled at a different level. Like the surveillance is at a different level, where like once you cross in, they know who you are. Put Laredo as in take out that T, put the D, put like Laredo, Texas, or put like maybe there it is, FBI. Yeah, we could go back. Oh, that's one right there too. Yeah,
FBI kidnapped man. All right, so FBI kidnapped man bragged in Laredo about stealing $50K from cartel. And we'll scroll down right there. Should I read some of this real quick?
I'll give you guys just a breakdown.
Okay.
So basically, we did a story here. It says there's an American man who was at a party in the U.S. side, Laredo, and he was bragging at a party to a female, and he was bragging that he sold 50,000 from the Cartel de Noreste, which is the cartel of Nuevo Laredo. So he brags to her, "Hey, I sold 50,000. They can't touch me." Basically, within 2 hours, and we put this from court documents. So within 2 hours, this is on the American side.
They touched him.
An F-150 truck, or like a truck, some kind, comes, 4 men. They come and beat the guy up, and they put him in the vehicle. Now, what always catches your attention, and how you could tell the cartel surveillance part is, normally when you go back to cross into Mexico, as you guys know, you guys go through a port of entry. They're supposed to stop the vehicle. Right, they stop the vehicle, they check for papers or whatever. We were able to pull back that surveillance and notice that there was no stop at the port of entry. So Mexican officials let the F-150 go, basically right into Mexico. Right before the truck goes into Mexico, the back door, the left-hand side opens, and the guy's name is Jonathan. He tries to get out of the car, and they pull him right back in. And then they go right into Mexico. That guy's dead now. I mean, that's for sure. Then he hasn't been found since. But that story was eerie because it shows you the power on the U.S. side and the fact that they control that
US
port.
Side.
Yeah, and the scary part is that port of entry, because they let the vehicle go right through. No Mexican official stopped that vehicle. So it's just a completely different beast, man. And the amount of migrant women that I've interviewed that have been like sexually assaulted, been kept in stash houses by these guys. The big one, man, like I said, we uncovered in Roma, Texas, was the unaccompanied children that were being smuggled in the middle of the night on boats, on like these little boats, and they had the wristbands to see
you were
which.
Talking about that.
Yeah, so like the colored wristbands to see which migrants have paid, which ones haven't. So we you know,
I
it's
love
all
how
about
they have
that.
wristbands like a fucking club. And it like a lot of time. Nick was talking about this. Kids will literally then sometimes, and that's not necessarily this example you're talking about, but you'll have kids trafficked across the border by a cartel coyote who then are taken to the airport and sent alone to some predetermined place that they have no idea who's picking them up on the other end. I mean, this is how I can't believe that happens in America. I mean, I guess I should believe it.
It's sad. And then there was like some investigations that found that like some of these sponsors had like 3 or 4 migrant children at one address. It's like, why do you need that? It's just like it's a sketchy underworld right now, man. But when it comes to like actual like cartel presence, like in the U.S., I would say like where you have it the most, or where you actively have it, is all in these not all, but like involved in this marijuana black market stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. So according to like Cal Fish and Game and some of the investigators I spoke with them and DEA,
I want to talk with that guy.
Yeah, they have an estimated around 10,000 active members just in California operating in black market marijuana, and we're talking about Cartel Texas Sinaloa, Cartel Jalisco, New Generation. But like I said, right now we're seeing this new thing where they're letting the Asian and Chinese have the marijuana, and where the Mexicans will continue to operate in the fentanyl world. So it's been I mean, like I said, right now they're making, I mean, 30 grand per Chinese. They're gonna keep those coming.
Yeah. Have you had any contact yourself now at this point, directly in some ways in a journalistic capacity with guys inside the cartel?
So yeah, March earlier this year, I worked with you would love him. You got to have him on. He's a great cartel journalist. Is Luis Chaparro out of Mexico?
Oh yeah.
So
before you go on about that, I have been looking for a cartel journalist for a long time, and I love Luis' work. but he's on every podcast. I'm trying to
Yes.
find someone who hasn't been on stuff. It is fucking impossible, bro.
yeah.
I've wasted so much time trying to find someone. The only people I found don't speak a word of English. Like, not one.
And the thing is, bro, it's such a deep underworld. Only a few guys could really, work it. And so the thing with Luis is we worked on stories together before in the past, and I reached out to Luis saying, hey, I'm working on this Tijuana story. I'm seeing like the homicide rate jump, and I was wondering if you could bring me into any contacts. So Luis actually helped me land an interview with cartel members for the Tijuana cartel. But these guys were strictly, their job is strictly drugs and guns. So bringing the guns in from the U.S. into Mexico, and then fentanyl and any of those hardcore drugs into the U.S. So we got to meet with these guys like in Tijuana, in one of the more sketchiest neighborhoods, and I did it with Luis. And I think because I went in with him, everything was good because like they respect Luis. Luis covers the cartels, but from like a very like culture aspect, which I think these guys really respect. So I went in with Luis and. Dude, they were just armed to the T, weapons, drugs. They were still moving marijuana, so they were like, hey, a lot of the marijuana we dig it deep under, so like the cops and all that stuff. So we talked about the weapons and how they were getting them and how they dismember them. And then at the end, man, I try to just keep it human as possible. I was just like, I'm like, how do you guys feel with like all these Americans dying, because of the fentanyl moving in? And for them, it's strictly business. What was interesting about my conversation with this particular guy who was running drugs is he knew that he couldn't do it for another 5 years. He was basically saying that like, I'm gonna get out the game soon because it's like my kids can't be in this game.
That's what they all say.
That's what they all say though. Yeah. So that's been my closest like one-on-one contact was with Luis. We landed up in Tijuana.
His
super
system's
sketchy.
crazy, by the way. Like how he has to talk with these guys and how they like some of the shit they'll send him and trust him. Like he's amazing. He went on Danny Jones's podcast way back. He's been on there a few times. Like absolutely incredible reporting.
And I mean, just even like how we communicate with these guys, because he was saying he's like, hey, if these guys request to meet, we have to go. So it's like, so they don't say, hey, meet at 11. It's yes, no, boom,
Yeah.
So through Luis, we've been able to actually encounter some drug traffickers in Tijuana, which is for folks who don't know, Tijuana is basically second most dangerous city in the world.
Yeah,
averages close to 2,000 homicides. It is chaos town, and we spend a lot of time there. So.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.